Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode. Here tonight we are looking at BlackBerry. Now BlackBerry's share price over the past day, we can see that so far it has fallen from 9.30. So 9.30 opened up on about 16.65, then we dipped throughout the day. We hit lows down here so far, which were at 11.20 roughly, or through to 11.25, where we hit a price of about $15.32. Now fortunately ever since we have been stable in this $15 range, and it does appear to be the case so far that we are now consolidating in this high $15 range. Anyway, we actually do have quite a lot to talk about. If you haven't seen my last video on BlackBerry, make sure you do, because we covered a lot of stuff like the short interest and all that kind of stuff, and it was only published yesterday because BlackBerry is a stock which a lot of people are talking about, and again, it does have a lot of potential for it, as I have said in the past. But again, tonight I'm giving my thoughts on what we have seen today, and obviously it's just going to be a quick look at what we are seeing in the market, especially with these meme stocks, but also with BlackBerry. So we're going to jump in, but before we do, the few things which we do need to disclose. Obviously I am not a financial advisor, this is just my opinion and should be taken as nothing more than that. But if you do enjoy it, do subscribe. We're trying to get to 13,000 subscribers. Obviously we are taking a while to get there, but now that I'm uploading more frequently, hopefully you guys can help me and we can hit that target. So yes, now I'm going to jump in and have a look at how BlackBerry has been moving, starting on the more simple charts. So as I mentioned, from 9.30 up until now, we're seeing pretty much a downward trend with BlackBerry. Now again, this, a lot of people have been claiming, is due to the short sellers, and again, that could be the case. It is quite hard to say, but it does appear to be the case that no matter what has happened, BlackBerry's share price is down. Now, does this concern me? Not really, especially when we look out to the wider markets. Now, when I speak about the wider markets, obviously I'm not speaking necessarily about some other companies which are on the S&P 500, because these are generally speaking more stable companies, for instance. When I say the wider markets, in this instance, I am personally talking about the meme stocks. So we've seen GameStop today, we've seen AMC, and a few others actually hit similar patterns. We've seen obviously a bit of an increase in the pre-market hours, and obviously late yesterday as well, and then into today we've seen a big increase up until about 10:30, where we saw a sell-off from those highs dipping down here. Now, something which I talk about a lot with AMC, and I am going to disclose it here, is the fact that these people who hold, whether it's BlackBerry, AMC, GameStop even, these people, generally speaking, are hardened to these sorts of things. Especially when it comes to BlackBerry, we are seeing a pattern now which is decent. So the past 5 days is up, and the past month is massively up. And bear in mind, a lot of people bought into BlackBerry from, I would say, about here, all the way up to here. And if you'd have bought anywhere under here, I would say, you would still be in the green. So again, a lot of people are not scared by this, from what I can tell. So obviously it's up to you what you do with BlackBerry, but that is what we are seeing with the price today. Some people are going to say this is unnatural, and again, I am not here to say otherwise, because it absolutely could be the case. We've seen some very strange price action along all of these meme stocks, and it is, hinting to something which potentially, what is going on there? We just don't know at the moment. What we are seeing today is still a green day for BlackBerry. It absolutely could go red towards the end of the day, but I do not think it matters. Especially like I said, when we look out to the wider markets. We've seen AMC so far be in the red, I do believe, and obviously BlackBerry managing to stay green is a good thing. So now we're going to look in a bit closer. We're going to start off by looking at the one-day charts as we always do, and then perhaps move in a bit closer down here. So here we can see how BlackBerry has been moving over the past week or so. And again, the volume for today is 145.93 million. So not too bad, to be honest, but obviously BlackBerry is seeing a pretty neutral day, as the share price, whilst up, hasn't really moved by too much. So again, what we are seeing in the past 2 or 3 days, I believe, is a pretty decent consolidation. I mean, we can see that we have been quite stable in this range, above $15 now for a decent amount of time. And as I did mention just a few moments ago, today is still green, which is fantastic. So I'm very happy to see that for BlackBerry, and this is good, especially when we look out to the wider scenario. So BlackBerry, would I buy it today? I think if you are looking to buy BlackBerry, I do not think it is the worst point. But obviously that would be if you are intending to be here for the short squeeze. And again, is the stock going to squeeze or not? We just don't know for certain. I definitely think that you should do your own research on that. And do I actually own BlackBerry? I personally do not. Now, when I said before in my last video, I'm going to repeat this again. I think that BlackBerry, whilst it may be a decent play, for me at least, there's only enough space in my portfolio for 1 or 2 meme stocks. Now right now I hold AMC. I think for me at the moment that is decent, and again, if you want to enter BlackBerry, that's completely up to you. This is not financial advice anyway, so you can do whatever you wish. But I think BlackBerry does have some potential. I think it absolutely could reach highs above $20, perhaps even above $30, because if we look back to what we have seen in the past, we saw this little squeeze type scenario up here, which brought us past 25. So you can imagine that it is possible that BlackBerry could hit up there again if the short interest does keep increasing, and if the amount of interest from longs on Wall Street Bets and other forums also does keep increasing. So going forwards for BlackBerry, we have a few interesting things to note as well. So you have June the 23rd. Now this is apparently the estimated earnings for BlackBerry. So these earnings are hopefully going to be announced on that date, and this could be a good catalyst for BlackBerry if the current scenario is still going on, up to that date. Now either way, fundamentally this could be a good catalyst for BlackBerry if they do have good earnings, but I think if you are getting into BlackBerry for fundamentals, I would not buy it at the moment. That's just my personal thoughts, because I think for the fundamentals, the stock may be a little bit too high. I think it definitely could dip a bit lower in the next few weeks and months from a fundamental standpoint. And again, that's not because I believe it's a bad company or anything like that. I just think where we are right now, there is some potential to see a dip if you are looking to get in for the fundamentals, as I think right now the price for a fundamental entry point is a little bit high for me at least. Now I think obviously if you're here for the squeeze, potentially it could be a much more decent price point, but obviously it depends on what you wish to do. But what we know so far is that we have earnings coming out on the 23rd, hopefully. We have a very high short interest for BlackBerry. If we scroll down to the data from Ortex, which was from only yesterday, we can see that obviously the amount of short interest for BlackBerry was very, very high. If we can highlight it down here, it increased by 4%, which was decent for the day. So again, BlackBerry is getting a lot more shorts from yesterday at least, and we are seeing the short interest of free float percentage quite high as well. And again, it's not necessarily as high as some other meme stocks, but it is still pretty decent. And for that reason, I do not think it will rocket as high as some other meme stocks, for example AMC or maybe even GameStop or some others, but I think it does still have some potential to see a decent increase in price. So again, this video is not to discourage. I think BlackBerry could be a decent play, but I just think it may not squeeze as high as some of the other meme stocks. That's just my thoughts and opinions though. Tell me yours down below. I can't wait to see you guys in another video very soon. See you soon.